We are live on a Saturday morning, coming at you with a preview of what will be an exciting game between Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins on a Monday night prime time game. On the plus side, there are two nice Grinch cup. There are two back-to-back, not even back-to-back, I think they're overlapping Monday night games.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
Maybe people will watch the other game, not watch us get humiliated.
Yeah.
So that's what we're here to do. Also, when I said we're live, we're not actually live. We're recording, and then I'll edit and upload it later.
So you have no idea what you're talking about.
Just saying words. Just sound fun to say. We are live. I don't know. It just sounds fun to say. But anyway, so here we are on a Saturday morning, and I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic video full of positivity and hope.
This is a game that as soon as I realized the Titans are not good, and I was looking at the schedule, I'm like, why does that have to be a primetime game so everybody could watch the Titans get destroyed probably on Monday night? Because Dolphins are a good team, but they're especially good at home, and this is in Miami, so
they're number one seed now, right?
Are they the number one seed?
I think so. The Jags lost.
Yeah,
Jags lost, and I think the Ravens had a bye week. Chiefs lost for no reason.
Yeah.
I think they're the number one seed now.
Well, they'll probably keep that for this week.
I would say probably good for them. I would be okay with them because I'm kind of done with watching Chiefs be good every year. I'm not a Ravens guy.
No.
I would be okay with the Dolphins.
Me too.
Representing the AFC this year. Definitely, you don't want anybody in your division. We don't want the Colts or Texans. I think the Colts or Texans will get in. Just one, not the other.
Yeah.
Right now, it's Colts, which is weird because most people predicted the Colts would only get like 4 or 5 wins this year, myself included. The Gardner Minshew saving their season, but anyways, why are we even talking about the Dolphins hopefully getting the number one seed? We're talking about the number one seed.
Should we do we have Dolphin hats?
We should. Let's need to get rid of this Titan hat. But anyways, so that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Tennessee Titans versus the Miami Dolphins. And we were talking about this before we started recording. We're not even talking or worried about keys to victory, what the Titans got to do, yada, yada, yada. Because I always hate it when people do this, but I'm officially there. But I don't want us to win. We're 4-8. If we win out, we're 9-8, and that still does not guarantee a playoff thing. Plus, listen to this. Almost all of our games, the 5 remaining games, are against playoff teams. Got the number one seed with the Dolphins. Texans are right there. And that's where 2 of our games are going against. Going against the Jags, who are number one in the AFC South, so they're a playoff team. And then the Seahawks, who are very much fighting for playoffs. So, we're outmatched.
Tough games. Yeah, we got some tough games. Jeffrey Simmons is out for a while, so that doesn't help. Wait, yeah, actually, do you want to go ahead and read the injury report?
They haven't done it yet because Vrabel had an extra day. We'll go to X real quick and make sure he hasn't said anything. But yeah, he didn't have to say anything because they had an extra day.
Yeah, I got it. All right. But anyway, so this game could be ugly. It's the last couple of weeks what I've said is I've been wanting the Titans to lose because of draft reasons. But I'd still like to see young people play well. But it's sad that, and we talked about this before, it's sad that we obviously have Will Levis. He's our young quarterback who we would like to see do well, even in a loss. Like, I hate to say it, I think Dolphins will score a lot of points. So even if we lose 55-28, it'd be nice to see Will Levis maybe, put up 28 points. You know what I mean?
That's kind of what again, I'm not doing keys to victory. It's more of what I want to see out of the game. And that's exactly what it is I was thinking that I wanted to see. I want to see us, I doubt it, because also we predicted this like a month ago. Jalen Ramsey is going to get an interception today, or not today, but Monday night. But I would love to see us break the 30-yard threshold. Not 30-point threshold. We haven't done it in forever, and we could get our heinies kicked where it's like 48-30. We'd lose by 18 points. Never really in the game. But let's just get to a point to where he's just tossing the ball around, and we're somehow able to put up 30 points. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Because I know you didn't like last week, but when you see, we go to overtime, we put up 28 points, Like, that's the kind of stuff I want to see out of my offense. I don't want us only scoring 6. Like, I'm okay with us losing out, but I don't want to see us putting up 16 points, 17 points. Like, that just shows me that we have no hope, or we have less hope than we would think. Like, I'd like to see some impressive games on offense, some points.
I agree. But the sad thing is, we all, besides Will Levis, if you take him out, we don't have much young talent that you're excited about. And that's bad on drafting purposes and stuff. But if you think about it, I mean, you have Tajay Spears, but I don't know if either of us quite think he's going to be the fullback, even when Derek Henry's gone. I can see Tajay sharing the load with somebody. I don't know if he's ever going to be just the number one starter. Then you have Duncan. He's not doing well at all. And then you have Peter Skronsky, but who gets excited to watch a guard? So we don't have much young talent. I'm like, well, let's see what he's got. You know what I mean?
We got some, not a lot, but we got some. Tajay Spears is definitely going to be our lead back because he's not going to be a cowbell, but he's going to be our lead back if we don't bring Henry back, which I'm okay with that happening. And the fact that cowbell back is also another thing of the 90s and early 2000s that's kind of outdated, because we've said it for a while now. Titans play old-fashioned football, and it's just getting more and more and more and more outdated. Yep. And the league's leaving us behind, which is play good defense, which we haven't played good defense in a long time.
That's an issue too. Yeah.
But play good defense, run the ball, don't throw it a whole lot, have your cowbell running back. Like, it's been nice, and the only reason this works is because Derrick Henry's put up 2,000 yards, and then last year, literally over 1,900 all-purpose yards just last year. If we didn't have him, like if we just had Zach Moss, of course, I mean, that's a bad person to use. Zach Moss is killing it this year. Just name any other running back who's good, but not elite like Derrick Henry was in the last 3 or 4 years. We wouldn't have any offense. We'd have zero offensive output.
And I'll say this: I'm not, necessarily calling for his head, but I would say this: like, what are you bringing to the table, Vrabel? Like, your strategy is an old-fashioned strategy, so that's not a good thing. But you're not even doing it well. We're not, like, I was looking at, our offense is 17th in rushing, so we're not good at running. Our defense sucks. Bad. I don't know if you say sucks, but it's not good. So what you bring to the table is a good run game, good defense. We win it like that. Well, we're not even good at that. So, and we doing penalties like crazy, because that's something else that he tries to do, is make us disciplined. So we're not doing anything well that you even want to do. So what are you doing exactly that's good and positive for the team right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, in the end, this is a John Robinson problem, in my opinion. And Austin Stanley on A to Z Sports said something this week in a video that was insane. Listen to the top 3 rounds of the last 3, or I guess it'd be the 2020, 2021, and then the 2022 draft, which is John Robinson's last 3 drafts. In 2020, first round pick, Isaiah Wilson. How do you feel about that?
He's good.
No. Awful. The second round pick in that draft, Christian Fulton.
I liked him. Besides this year, I know you didn't. I liked Fulton just fine.
I never liked him. And then the third round, Darrington Evans.
I forgot about him. But
that's awful. First 3 picks. 2021, the first pick, Caleb Farley. Bust. Second round pick, Dylan Radins. He's a good decent depth now, but
that's a second round. You want more than that?
Yeah. And then 2021 third round. Do we remember who that is?
No.
Can't think. Let's see, give me just a second.
Let me tell you something about my brother. Every other video we make, and every time I see Gabriel live, he will go every single time I see him on the last 5 or 6 years draft. Gabriel's a draft. He should be like a draft guy or something, because that is his passion. He will always be naming. Gabriel just randomly like, "Hey, did you know in 2021 our 5th round pick, whoever?" And I'm like, "How do you even remember all that?" And he loves to go, the last 3 years in the drafts is this and this, and then like 15 minutes later he's still naming it. That's just Gabriel's passion, guys.
Maybe. Here we go. Oh, that's what it was. The one that just happened. Our 3rd round in 2021, Monty Rice.
Oh, who we just got?
Bust. We also had Elijah Molden as a 3rd round pick in that same draft, but he was 100th overall, so he wasn't even, I mean, he's just barely in the top 100, so I don't hold that against him. So anyways, so those are three people. That Elijah Bolden is like fine as a depth piece, but here he is starting and not even playing the position we drafted him to play. It's just not good. And then last year, first round pick, Traylon Burks. Bust. So far. Am I right?
Yeah, he's
now the one that that we can be okay with, and that's Roger McCreary was our second round draft pick from last year. He's been good. But then we had 2 third round picks last year. Nicholas Petit-Frere, bust. Malik Willis, bust. Like, how can you miss on literally 12 or 11 out of 12 first round picks?
Yeah, that's not
like
good.
You couldn't have hit on one. And in the NFL, you can't survive on buying all of your good players. You have to draft, because people you draft don't get paid. Like, they're almost nothing against the cap. Like, a whole draft class will be like 10 million against the cap. But if you want to bring in some decent free agents, you're paying 10 million per person.
Yeah,
and that's why we're in the position we're in. We don't have any young talent.
Yep, Thanks. I agree. And sadly, though, we have a lot of money this season, so this next off season, so we hopefully can build it up decently fast. But to get some nice young talent, it's gonna take a while to I think it's gonna take a couple drafts to get this team really, where we want it to be. Sadly,
actually, that's the one thing is my biggest issue with Vrabel. Because I know a lot of people are anti-Vrabel now and they want to get rid of him. I'm not there yet. But my biggest thing, and he learned this from Belichick, because Belichick was bad about this. They don't want rookies to ever see the football field.
Yeah.
And I hate that. Because you just see people like Zay Flowers, Puka Nakuya, or however you pronounce his name for the Rams. Just like, he's a 5th round pick. Just walking in there day one and being a day one impact player. But Vrabel does everything he can. And Belichick was the same way, but they do everything they can to make sure rookies never see the football field in their rookie season. And I'm like, why? Why? Just like AJ Brown, that one really made me mad. AJ Brown in 2019, I remember he was 6 weeks into the season and he would only play 40 to 50% of the snaps. So like most of the time, AJ Brown sitting on the sidelines so that we can throw out Rashard Matthews or whoever the heck we had back then, or Tajay Sharp. Where I'm like, why? Let your rookies play. Like, if they're, 7th rounder, that's one thing. But when you're first, your second rounders, like, why are they backups? Peter Skoronski is about the only rookie we've ever drafted that we thrust him right in a starting role from the get-go. I don't get it. I don't get it. That's my biggest issue with Vrabel. Because, yes, we might have an amazing draft class next year. But is Vrabel going to let them start? I mean, if you're not going to let A.J. Brown, who's starting to put up a Hall of Fame type career, if you're not going to let A.J. Brown be a starter, he's going to be backing up Corey Davis.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
But yeah, I'll say this. I just don't know if I believe in Vrabel / the coaching staff he brings to coach talent and to bring the most out of people. I'm not sure if this is something our staff does well. But anyway, I think we went on a big digress. We digress big time because we haven't really mentioned the Dolphins much at all. But
we just basically said we're at this point we're trying to look for young talent to make plays.
And again, I guess just what we said to start off, we don't have much young talent at all, but we'll see. Josh Riley's made a couple plays, but then he got hurt, so he's out. He's out, I think, right? He's going.
I think it's kind of actually where we started. That's kind of where we started, is trying to talk about young talent that we want to see. Our tight ends. I want to see Chig and Josh Wiley. Chig started to come on finally the last couple weeks.
He still had to drop. He still had to drop, but
he still had to drop. That's kind of how he rolls. But like that first offensive pass of the game, he just caught it and then just trucked that one dude, and then took a couple more guys to finally get him down.
I'll say this: I am happy we lost, in the sense that helps draft purposes. But I feel like that game we shouldn't have lost, though. And then I got into it, and I'm like, we should have lost that game.
But, I mean, when you allow not just one but 2 blocked punts, and then you go into overtime. And we missed an extra point, which made us have to go into overtime because our 35-year-old backup quarterback's trying to catch and hold and time everything, and on an extra point. I'm like, what are we doing? It's almost like people are like, Vrabel, you have to lose out, so just do whatever you got to do. And he's like, all right, fine. Don't block the guy coming in on this punt play. It's like it's like a Titans thing. Like when you see that lose at the end, you're like, that is a Tennessee Titans loss. Plus our number one special teams player, our number one offensive player, and our number one defense player. All three got hurt and couldn't finish the game. I'm like, yep, that's a Titans loss if I ever saw one. So, yeah.
To kind of jump on the Dolphins real quick. I feel like our defense is not going to stop them very well. Our defense sometimes can frustrate me. And once again, we was not a clutch defense last week. That's something we talked about before. Our defense is not a clutch where it needs to make a stop. We didn't make the stop at overtime, not a clutch. But it looked like the Dolphins' numbers offensively, they are second in points scored. The number 1 in yards, number 2 in passing, and number 2 in rushing. I didn't realize he was number 2 in rushing. I didn't realize that.
Raheem Mostert and
Apache.
Yeah. However you want to say his name. Yeah, I've only read his name. I've actually never heard it said because I haven't watched any Dolphins games this year. I mean, but yeah, those idiots are just killing it out there.
They are killing it. And I'm like, okay, so we're going against the number 2 pass, number 2 rush, number 1 in yards, number 2 in points. Against this with our defense and with a bad secondary, they're going to kill us. They're just absolutely going to kill us. I think the only thing that we can hang our hats on maybe is that they don't have the best offensive line. So maybe we can get pressure. The problem is Tua gets rid of the ball so fast, and our pass rush has been kind of a letdown anyway. So I don't see that being much of a thing to help us out. But because our secondary is awful. And Fulton, if whoever he's on, Waddle or Hill, they're going to destroy him, absolutely destroy him. Now I will say this: I don't want to say this against the Titans, but I do have Tyreek Hill in my fantasy football. So if Tyreek does want to go off with 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, I won't complain about that. Okay, anyway.
I have Jalen Waddle. Who's, I'll be honest, fantasy football wise, been a huge disappointment this year. But it's tempting. It's tempting to put him in after watching what Alex Pierce did to us last week.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Minshew, who's not a bad backup. He's a good backup. But Minshew and then Pierce destroyed us. What do you think Tyreek Hill and Tua is going to do?
It could get ugly. They could be the first team to have 2 70-point games this season.
Defensively, the Dolphins find themselves at... Now, this is kind of odd. The 21st in points allowed. That's not good. But yet, the rushing defense is 8th. The passing defense is 9th. And then the 3rd in most sacks. So good in sacks, good at passing defense, good at running defense, but 24th total. So that's kind of a little odd to me.
Doesn't make sense. I'd love to dissect that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know if it's short fields or, maybe what have you. But, yeah, somehow. So the points. Well, see, the Titans' defense is the opposite. We are actually pretty decent with points allowed, but we're off of rush defense and pass defense. If you look at we're 20th something in both almost, I think. And I don't know if we're 20th rush actually, but anyway, I
think we're average at run defense and just awful on pass, and then awful on yards allowed.
And then points allowed a game, which is the most important stat to me. We're actually pretty decent.
We're like 11th or something.
Yeah. So the Dolphins defense kind of find themselves in the opposite boat. But here's the thing about the Dolphins is though, they don't have to have great defense to win games. All they have to have is decent defense, which is what they have. And I think the defense has been getting better as the season goes on. Yeah, well, Jalen Ramsey made a huge difference. I don't know what he did last week, but I think he was 3 games back with 3 interceptions. So that's, impressive. So I think I'm trying to figure out how much more we even need to discuss because we're almost a half hour in already. Because we've already said we don't even want to win, but we do want to see something from our rookies. Not our rookies, our young players. I guess our rookies too, but like our young players. What else? What else do you want to talk about? Well, I would say I think someone besides Hopkins is going to have to step up because if you're the Dolphins, you probably just put Jalen Ramsey on Hopkins. Most likely will shut him down. And then so all the other receivers have to get open. I have heard that they play their corners the same way the Titans do, where they just keep our corners on a certain side of the field. So Jalen's not going to shadow. I think that's a bad strategy. I've never been. I agree. Well, here's the thing. I agree in one way, but I also understand how some players just play way better on one side of the field than the other.
like obviously I'm middle-aged man and I don't play sports like I used to. But like speaking for myself, I run routes way better on the left side than I do on the right side. When I go to the right side of the lineup, it feels weird, awkward, and clunky. But when I'm on the left side, I was way better. I felt way more comfortable. So I'm guessing some corners can be that way too. Kind of like some people can be a really good left tackle, but they are awful at right tackle, or vice versa. Some players are just different. They're just so much better on one side of the field than the other. So maybe that's what they're doing. It's a personnel thing. But I also agree with you because like I'll sit there and see back when we actually had some decent cornerbacks and they just put their playmaker on the opposite side and then and that's that and they can get open. So I don't know. So yeah, if the Titans are smart, they'll put D Hop on the other side.
So the Dolphins they're almost a 2 touchdown favorite. The plus 13.
Which I wonder why it's huge, but at the same time I feel like it should be bigger.
Well, that's about as big as I've seen. They don't NFL games. You don't get bigger than that. That's college numbers, to be honest. 13 points is huge for NFL favorite.
Yeah, but like 13 points, that's only them beating us 30-17. If they beat us 30-17, that'd be like
again, that's huge for NFL because I've seen big time favorites up by 4 points. Like, oh, they're +4, and that team's way better than this team. So again, plus 13 is about as big as I've ever seen in NFL. That's college numbers, not NFL numbers. Like, because you're trying to do something you feel very comfortable that it's gonna happen. So
well, yeah, because there's a lot of money tied up in it.
Yeah, so they're very comfortable that the Titans gonna get blown out. But
I mean, but still, it just makes sense to me having one of the worst secondaries known to mankind and having one of the best passing games known to mankind. So it just makes sense for them to put up all kinds of numbers.
Dolphins are way better at home.
We're way horrible away
on the road. So it all says Titans lose. We're gonna go 4-9. But let me just say this real quick. Patriots lost, so that's the Patriots won.
Mm-hmm.
So if they lose one more time, win one. Oh gosh, I can't talk. If they win one more time, maybe they could tie us, and that'd be just another spot we could fall back into.
Yeah, there's a lot of people with 4 wins. I mean,
yes, I was looking that up as well. Yes,
so we definitely have some rooting interests for the rest of this year that we need to be rooting for because I think they said we're picking number 8 right now. Patriots play Chiefs. Well, we'll lose that one. Then they play the Broncos, probably lose that. Then they play the Bills. But then they play the Jets. But here's the thing about the Jets. We kind of need the Jets to be losing too because I think they also have 4 wins, right?
I don't remember.
I think the Jets, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Because, yeah, if we could slide into the top 5, I would be extremely happy. Yeah. Now, Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to be there. But we would literally probably get our pick of we have like the 4th overall or even 5th overall. Actually, no, let's go back to 4th. If we have 4th pick overall, that would probably be Caleb Williams, Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr. So we literally would get to either pick the best tackle, which is so boring, but needed. Imagine if we have left tackle and left guard. Peter Skronsky, whoever the left tackle would be for the next 10 years, that would be fantastic. But anyway, so we'd either basically have our pick of the best left tackle. This would be a wild card. I wouldn't want it, but if it happened, I could make myself excited about it. The best edge rusher, like if there's just a elite edge rusher, like imagine us having a Myles Garrett or something like that with Jeffrey Simmons and Harold Landry, and sadly Danico Quattro will be gone. But like that would be fantastic. It'd be nice to be like 4th pick. So literally, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr. They're gone 1, 2, 3, and then we have literally our pick of the litter. Literally our pick of the litter.
This probably won't happen, but. Well, when you're in the top 5, you never know when someone's going to try to trade in to get in there. What would you do? I don't want to go back too far at all, but if we were to say, let's say
if someone's at like number 7, if someone's like number 7 and they want to move up to 4 because they have a tackle that they're in love with or an edge rusher they're in love with, I would be okay with that.
Yeah. Well,
I would be okay.
I saw a mock draft and I was watching a video that they're thinking like there could be like 4 quarterbacks go off in top 10. So we don't need a quarterback. So what if we're sitting at 4 and 5 and someone's like, okay, well, I really want, Bo Nix. I don't know if he's going to go that high, but I really want, a quarterback and we don't need one like, hey, can we go in 4th? And when people trade for quarterbacks, usually they go crazy. So they trade us and we go 9th. 9th is still really good,
Yeah, 9th will probably still be able to get a top tackle.
Exactly. So we go
or a top wide receiver,
and we go get a top quarterback, or not quarterback, tackle or receiver, like you said, at
and
9.
pick up a
So
second and a third or something.
yeah, we still get what we want, but then we get a second third. I'd be okay with that.
I'd be okay with that as well.
Because there's a lot of quarterbacks that's going high this year, and we don't need one. So that's an advantage for us.
I would agree. I would agree.
So.
But we can save all the draft talk for later. Because sadly, once the season's over, we're going to probably be scrapping for some material. Because I don't want us to just sit down and spitball and just randomly spitball about whatever. I want us to have at least a little bit of a direction where we're going in our videos. And we'll have plenty of time to do it. So is there anything else you want to say about the game?
Go Titans.
Go Dolphins. You just watch Titans make this interesting. Where we get our heart into it for no reason. Where it's like 27-30, and we're just like down by 3, and I'm like, and I'm like, but we don't need to win.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to watch Titans and not want to win. Like again, like last week when we was in overtime, I wanted us to go down there and win the game.
The wheels could fall off, and all the bad teams could start losing, and we could have the number 1 pick possible next, and it'd be week 18 against the Jags. And I'd be like, "Go Titans, go!" If it gets close, actually, I wouldn't. Not with that, but yeah, it's hard to turn off your fandom. So,
yeah. I will say just a little housekeeping. I won't be in the next video because sadly it's Monday night and I didn't get the day off, so I'll be hard at work and I won't even get to watch it. So Gabriel will you watch the game? You'll watch the game, right?
Yeah,
so
I'll watch it.
Tuesday he'll come with a video probably and
a recap. Yeah, probably Tuesday night because I'm going to be waking up early Tuesday morning, so I'm probably going to have to watch it Monday night, sit on it Tuesday, and then Tuesday night when I get back from work, I'll probably make probably 10-15 minute. It doesn't need to be 30, 35, 40 minutes. So just like a 10-15 minute recap, and that'll be that. So I guess that's all we got because somehow this video, where I thought it was actually going to be a shorter one than normal, turned out to be normal length or even a little longer. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time, or I will. I'll see you next time on the Titan Bros. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that great stuff, comments. We love your comments and all that. So peace out and all that jazz.